Today I'm here to show you my new Amtrak loco, an FP40. I've always been very fond of this loco, always very much appreciated the Amtrak livery and colour scheme, and here it is going around my layout. A little noisy, runs well. Let's slow it down and I'll tell you the story of this. Let me bring it down to a slow speed, okay? It's coming over some dead frog points here at slow speed. No problem at all. Whoop, a little bit of a blink, but no big deal. Over a dead frog, dead section crossing. What have I told you that I paid for this and this performance? Probably no more than $5 or €5 to get this. What you're looking at is a 1980s Bachmann shell on a 1980s lifelike train set loco. There is only four-wheel pickup and four-wheel drive on this, and yet it has no problem running slow over track work. Let's bring it up to full speed again. You can see the LED lights there. We'll bring it back around. I always wanted an FP40. Can't afford the obscene prices that are charged for them these days. So I kitbashed one. Well, I kind of Frankensteined one. This, as I said, is a Bachmann cheap body. And on top of a lifelike drive. How did I get this performance? A 24 volt motor, a cheap one, bought for €2 or $2 off eBay in China, and an old flywheel. Now my original plan was to try and save the lifelike loco body, but look what happened. It literally turned to nothing in my hand. It's made up of this terrible plastic. It's almost like an acetate, and it like literally crumbles when you work on it. So I wanted this one because I think that's an older scheme than the one here, and I like the thicker red stripes with the narrow white stripe. You Amtrak guys would know more about this than me. So anyway, it wasn't to be. So the Bachmann body is okay. I'm happy with it. It does the job. Well, this is as cheap and cheerful as it gets. Now, I don't have a milling machine. I don't have an ability to fabricate metals like brass. I don't have a drill press. I don't have lots of tools. I have a plastic cutting mat, some basic rudimentary tools, and glue, and a scrap box full of stuff that I've collected over the years. Never throw anything away. And that's a beautiful model that I've now created. The flywheel compensates for the four-wheel drive and the four-wheel pickup. When you think about it, the energy stored inside a flywheel is enough to compensate for not having a pickup on all wheels when going over plastic dead frog points and crossovers like this. The 24 volt motor has a higher starting speed and a slower top speed, but as this is an American Amtrak locomotive, they don't go very fast, and it's just how it is. It's one of the reasons I actually kind of like them, for modelling reasons. They're not flying across your layout at 200 kilometers an hour like you would get with a European express train, because Amtrak is limited to using freight lines that existing railroads have. But there you go. I got myself an Amtrak FP4. Now let me show you what I'm going to do next. I have some. These are Lima coaches. They are probably not accurate at all. They've got the Amtrak paint job. What I don't like about them is this dull silver colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade these to, look at that, they have European NEM couplers on them. So there you go, they're genuine Lima. There you go, Lima, Italy. So I'm going to create an Amtrak train with these and a few other cheapo coaches, upgraded. I'll get them better running and so on. And have myself an Amtrak rake to go on my layout for so little money. So there you go. You don't need an incredible workshop to upgrade all locomotives. You don't need to spend a fortune. You can, with a bit of being a bit humble about it, being a bit frugal about it, being a bit creative about it, you can put together locomotives that run superbly. I would consider this a superb running locomotive. It's a bit noisy, but it's got great traction, that motor too. It'll have no problem pulling the rake. But I would consider this a very well running locomotive, no problem. And I'm very happy with what I've done here. Very happy, and so I can't complain. I put in LED lights to act as a... I actually diffused the glass with crazy glue, the inside of the glazing, so it diffuses the light a bit better. But there you go. Little bit of a stall there, but I'm not bothered by that one bit. Not one bit. It runs fine. I'm very happy with it. Bit noisy in reverse, but so what? It's a toy train. It's a model train. I'm not looking for perfection. And that's the original lifelike gear tower. I'll be mostly running it this way anyway. I don't do switching. There's two things I need from model trains. They run well, and they don't have little bits that fall apart. Another aspect of this I want to show you is the walkway, the railings at the back were missing. I got these off an old Bachmann U36B shell, and it's not perfect. It's not exactly it, but it does the job. Yeah, that noise is not bothering me. It's just I don't do sound on trains. In fact, I was watching Chadwick Model Railways recently with Charlie, and he asked people who had state-of-the-art sound chips inside their expensive logos, do they use them? And they said no, they just run their trains around on their layout. So they spend a fortune on theirs, and that's their own business. Good luck to them if they can afford it. I can't. Not only it's not so much I can't. I'm sure I could save up. I just don't want to spend that kind of money on model trains. So as we let this revived Amtrak superb running FP40 passenger locomotive go into the distance, reborn, renewed, and built for, I'll just think about it, I'll say it conservatively, with the two broken locos, the motor, and a bit of glue. Everything was from the scrap box except the motor. So conservatively, for €7, $7, I have a loco that's making me very happy. So we'll say goodbye to this Amtrak FP40 as it goes off into the distance on Arcadia Junction. And the next time you see him, he'll be hauling a rake of reconditioned coaches from the junk pile too. Take care. If you like the channel, please subscribe. And never throw anything away.